Yes.
Appreciate that. I know you, the subconscious, could have brought forth many different lifetimes for him to see today. You first chose to show him the life of a drifter, a traveler, going from town to town, finding shelter, and then move on to the next place. Why was it important for him to see that?
There's only growth when you're alone. You can't grow when you're necessarily with tons of people and conflicts. It's the loneliness that forces isolation and introspection. So it was expediting the process of introspection for him to evolve more quickly in a single lifetime, similar to a homeless person accelerating their karmic introspection by being alienated from the normal material world.
Okay. Well, how is that life conveying into this one, bleeding through into this one?
Accelerating karma to reach closer to self-awareness.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about this karma? What karma are we looking at?
It's not karma specifically. It's just in the process of being isolated, you are forced to be with your negative emotions and tendencies, which allow you to move through them more quickly.
I see.
So it's just reaching, you can say, full self-awareness or enlightenment, or this soul wants to accelerate at the fastest speed possible. And if you ask to accelerate at the fastest speed possible, then you have to be willing to plow through a limitless amount of lifetimes of karma at once. So if this soul is choosing to accelerate that speed and wants to get through it as quickly as possible, then it has to be okay with experiencing a lot less experiential learnings in this universe.
Very good. So in a way, I feel like he's alone right now because of this COVID business. He finds himself alone with parents being, stuck back home. What's the benefit here for him at this time?
He's choosing all of this. It's his choice. He wants to plow through everything and move quickly through it. So, the fastest way to do that is alone. There's no faster way to move through karma than in isolation.
Okay. Well,
this is his choice.
Now, about the scene at the brothel with the lady that, he felt so happy when he was being with that lady. He felt fulfilled and he felt love. Why was it important for him to see that specific scene?
It's to show that this tendency has been around for a very long time. But he's also choosing this because if he has small experiences of pleasure and joy in this world, it allows him to continue living in this world, but doesn't allow him to attach to anything. So if he was to be with a woman he loves, then he's now attached to the woman, and he has to be with her for a lifetime, and he has to create new karmas, and he has to take responsibility of her karmas. But if he just has small sexual experiences, then he gets to just quickly have that enjoyment for a very temporary amount of time, and then go back to plowing through lifetimes of karma through self-isolation.
Very good. So what do you think about this? What is your perspective?
It's his journey, his choice. I have nothing to say about it.
Okay, very good. What about the second life where he finds himself as a woman, a very beautiful woman in a brothel? Why was important for him to experience that?
He wanted to experience the other side of it in a lifetime. So he chose self-isolation through meeting women and having short sexual encounters. But he wanted to experience what it's like to be the woman. That's his infatuation, to know what women in that type of prostitution companionship situation, what life is like for them. He wanted to experience that lesson. So he came as a woman and went through that experience to know what that experience feels like.
And how is that experience applying into his life right now?
He still has the desire to do this same action repeatedly, and he still has the desire to hear about the women's life and their experiences. It's just an infatuation he has, and it allows him to avoid long-term karmic responsibilities with people, but also he's not freeing himself from this infatuation because he's doing it lifetime to lifetime, repeatedly.
Okay. Well, now that we pretty much jumped into his first question, he does want to heal from this addiction to intimacy, sex, and loneliness. What do you have to say about that?
He doesn't.
Oh.
He enjoys this, and he is choosing to give up having worldly attachments, and this is his vice, to replace other worldly attachments, because he fears creating long-term karma that he's going to have to pay off in multiple lifetimes with perhaps a single person. But what he's not realizing is this world is here to be enjoyed and experienced. Nobody's judging. He can do it any which way he wants, but he is not actually mitigating karma by having this lifetime to lifetime sexual expedition versus having a meaningful relationship with one person. The karma is not different, and so he needs to understand that. But it's his choice. This is his universe, and he is the creator of it, and
Right.
This is what he has chosen to have, and that's his choice.
So, what do you think, now that we're talking about free will, and if this is his choice, what do you think from his side, your side, will be the best approach here? Give him an advice in what to do here with respect of the free choice.
If you're willing to give this up, then you can experience and enjoy life in so many other ways. But that is a choice you have to make. But you have done this for so many lifetimes that that impression is very deep, deeply sown. So it makes you want to desire it, even if you don't want to desire it. Because you have played this part in the movie over and over and over and over again, and it is all you know, because it's all you have done, and you don't know anything else, because this is what you have chosen to be your experience, and it's not good or bad, it's your experience. But there is more to experience than this, and this choice is not accelerating your karma.
Okay, very good. So, From your perspective, what can you do to help Neil today? Because I know you can do a lot of things.
Well, I think it would be good to heal this lifetimes of attachment, or this lifetimes of cravings towards this same experience over and over. Doing it 100 times, it's not going to give a new experience after the 100th time. It's the same experience. So this groove should be healed so that a new line can be drawn, a new path can be drawn, right. And maybe one that aligns better with your choices in this present lifetime. Because I am aware that as much as you enjoy this, you only enjoy it because it is such a deep impression that's embedded.
Okay. Well, this deep impression, can you do something about it?
Delete the impression and set the energy to be focused on with this chapter closed, so that a new experience can be had.
Wonderful. And what part of the body is this being affected? Like what?
It's the lower half. It seems like the solar plexus chakra is affected, and then the lower chakras are also affected. The memory has been stored for confidence, for enjoyment and pleasure. It's in these lower chakras, solar plexus and the sex chakra, and possibly the root chakra also. So well-being and pleasure and confidence and power are all affected through this repetitive experience.
Wonderful. So now that we see the location and we understand the root cause of this, tell me how you can clear for him this issue. How can you help him?
Just delete it.
Okay, very good. And are you doing this now?
No.
Why not?
I have not been requested to.
Okay. Well, I am asking you to do it. Do you need Neil's permission also? Because this was his question.
No, I don't need his permission.
Okay. Well, can you please clear this for him now?
Yes.
Wonderful. And can you please tell me how are you doing that? I'm always curious to know about the healing.
We are using like a energy of like a black hole.
Okay.
And this black hole energy is just sucking the memory imprints that exist in these energy centers into the black hole, because a black hole's energy is far more massive than the energy that exists in the space around it. So the energy is the black hole energy has the ability to you cannot remove energy permanently. It cannot delete. It has to be transferred or changed. So we just pull it through, and kind of like a cloud coming over that area, we just cover it with this dark energy, and we send it, basically transmute it off. It gets eaten by the black hole energy and gets consumed within it, but in that process it just goes away.
Wonderful. And what is he feeling or sensing?
He's sensing like as if like a black circular object is enveloping those chakras, and it's just like sucking in and out through his energy body.
Okay.
Basically.
Very good. So what will he notice after the session today?
He will notice far less sensations in his lower chakras, mainly tied to do the same thing. I'm getting the sense you're going to want to keep doing the same thing.
Well, now that he understands what?
he understands, but the impression is very strong.
But you're helping him.
I am, but he still has choice.
Right.
And the choice is still there.
Of course.
And the desire is still there.
Okay. Hopefully when he's going to understand the message, he'll know what to do. Well, he was also thinking that maybe this is lack of love and affection from his mom. Is this a true statement? This urge to find love in intimate situations.
No, the intimate situations isn't from his mother.
Okay.
His mother is just has created maybe some distance in the sense of not being able to feel the affection, but because the groove is so deep for his lifetime to lifetime journey of persistent seeking of new intimate connections, his mother came to him in this life because she would provide him the distance needed for him to continue the same desire again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's blaming his mother, but he doesn't know that it's not his mother. It's him. It's his choice.
Gotcha.
He chose this.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Now, what's about the feeling of unworthiness and him not being able to accept attention and gifts? What's the root cause of that?
He's felt unworthy in many lifetimes because he has not, in many of these lifetimes, he just lived aimlessly throughout life alone and isolated, and there was nothing to show worth for because he chose to accelerate karma. He chose to not be lost in this world. So if he's choosing to not be lost in this world, then how can he accomplish something that is going to make him feel worthy if he's choosing to not feel worthy as a reason to accelerate his karma?
Got you. Okay. So what is your advice? What does he need to do instead to bring that worthiness into his being?
He has to accomplish something in this lifetime that gives him a sense of purpose and happiness and self-worth. He by creating something, he will feel worthy.
Okay.
But in the past, he has come in chosen to feel worthless in order to isolate and move through this world quickly.
Okay.
With the least number of lives as possible.
Okay. Well, now that we understand this picture, what will be a good avenue for him if he would want to follow to feel that worthiness in the body?
Accomplish something that makes you feel great. That will do it.
Okay.
But I don't want to give away what to do. That's his free will.
Okay, I respect that. Thank you so much. Now, can I also ask you to disconnect him from those lives that apparently are bleeding through into this one?
That's what we're deleting now.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. What will be the change?
He won't feel that heaviness of energy in the lower half of his body. He'll feel like the opposite, like more empty in those areas, which will allow him to focus his energy on higher purposes that will help accelerate his karma in a way that is coming through positive actions rather than through negative actions.
Gotcha.
And by negative, I mean the ones with lower emotions.
Okay. What about wife and kids? Do you see him? Would it be beneficial to go down?
This is his choice.
Right.
this is his choice. Whatever he wants to do, he's the designer of this. If he wants it, he can try for it or not.
But I guess my question is, will that bring more benefits into his life if he chooses that avenue?
It comes down to what he wants. So if always the single goal has been to accelerate karma at the fastest rate, then that means having the least amount of every type of joy in this world. And he has to slow that down in order to enjoy this place more. Because there's no point in slowing down, having a wife and child, and then feeling regret that you're stuck in that space instead of accelerating karma. This is just the theme of his life that he has chosen for so long, and it is up to him to decide what he wants to write moving forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, can I ask you to do, while you're working on him, can I ask you to do a body scan from top to toe and tell me if there's anything else that requires your attention today? Because we want full and complete healing to the body.
There's still some other types of energies that are stuck around his penis, and then energies stuck in his stomach area. His solar plexus is, it's like, instead of having energy in the solar plexus, he has energy sucked out as if there's a black hole there already. So that space is not filled, it's empty, and it's taking his power away. So that area is very, very deficient right now.
Okay,
very
so
deficient.
The solar plexus area, let's talk a little bit more about that. This discomfort, this imbalance, was the origin of that? This life, another
experiences in this lifetime that created situations that made him lose his own power. But he again chose that to accelerate karma.
Okay. So when was the first time that this soul experienced this?
Rejection in childhood, in his acting career.
Okay, very good.
And then being mistreated by friends in childhood for being different because of his work situation. And then with his ex-girlfriend. And then through life challenges with family. Most experiences in his life have taken power away rather than given power. And that was chosen to not allow, so he could keep his ego on check. So he has his own power taken away.
Okay, that makes sense.
In this lifetime, in order to keep the ego from creating more karmas and being lost in the illusory world.
Wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful explanation. Now, does he understand this now, what he did?
He understands it, but he just wants it healed. He doesn't want to deal with it. He's coming in here, all gung-ho, wanting to just blast through karma, and that comes with so much suffering. And then here he's crying about the suffering for that which he chose to come here for. So he has to decide, what does he want? Does he want to accelerate and suffer, or does he want to enjoy, or does he want something in the middle?
Okay, let's ask him. I'm going to ask you, the higher self, to ask him, and see if we can continue with.
That's very clear. He just wants to be in the middle. He wants to enjoy here and yet never be lost in the illusory nature of this world.
What is your advice?
I think that middle path would be the best thing for him.
Okay, very good. So hearing this, can you heal this for him now?
Yes, we would need to do a lot of healing on the solar plexus for that.
Very good. And if you do that, can you please share with us how are you healing his solar plexus and releasing all those emotions?
We would simply have to delete the negative, the suction, the like vacuum that's been placed in the chakra, and then pump it with divine energy that will give him his power back.
Wonderful. So what will be the change after the session today?
Feeling more centered and having more power, and feeling your self-power more tangibly. You can feel it and notice it.
Very good. And how can he keep this up, this balancing of his solar plexus, so he can function in his full power?
If we put the energy in, then it doesn't just go away. It's there. So it will just be there. It will just be part of him.
Okay.
If we do it.
Okay, very good. And you're also releasing him from all those emotions from early times.
Yes, we're still deleting the energy from the lower chakras that's still going on.
Okay, very good, very good. What's going on around his groin area? You said that your attention is needed there too.
There's just energy that's been stuck in that space that needs to be completely removed. Or sensing dirty energy that is keeping part of the problem from happening.
Oh, okay. And this lower energy, is this from this life or the past life?
It's from this life.
This life.
But the tendency comes from the past life.
Ah, got you. Okay. And if it's in this life, when was the first time that he felt or encountered this?
When he started feeling a desire to go and meet with random women.
I see. Okay. Very good. What do you need him to be aware of from here on as you're healing this?
That we can do energy healing, but it's his life and his choice. And even if he doesn't feel like it is, he has made the decisions before coming. He created the contract before coming. So it's just the contract is executing itself.
Oh.
So the only way to change the contract is like this right now.
Oh, okay. And we're changing the contract now?
Yes, for whatever you have asked me to do only.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very good. Now, what about his stomach? What's going on there?
Well, we haven't done any healing for the stomach.
Would you like me to wait?
Solar plexus.
Okay.
You haven't given us the request to do that yet.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you to start healing on his solar plexus.
Okay.
His groin area. You're working on that, right?
Already working on the groin area, yes.
And let's talk a little bit about his intestines, his stomach. He would like full and permanently to heal his lower intestinal damage and be free from all intestinal cancer. What can you tell us about that today?
That's very easy to do. That's just emotional junk that's been built up and karmic energies that are stuck in that area, causing these various issues to come up.
Okay. And what can you do if I was to ask you to heal this for him right now? How can you heal that as well?
We would just clear the energy.
Okay. And can I ask you to do this now?
Yes, we can do it.
Thank you very much. And how are you healing? Using the same black hole vacuum or differently?
No, this is just actually pumping very highly concentrated positive energy.
Okay.
That has healing properties in them. It just goes and removes the negative particles that are in that space, and once the positive energy is pumped there, those negative particles just can't exist anymore. So it just automatically voids them out, like turning a light on in a dark room.
Very good. Does he need to be aware of something to keep this up, this healing that you're doing him?
No, it just needs to be cleared up and healed, and that's it. There's nothing else that has to be done for that. It just has to be requested and done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So you're working on his groin, his stomach, and his solar plexus, just to make clear.
Yes, all
Wonderful.
3 of these areas.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, can I still ask questions? Or
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. He also wants healing on all of his autoimmune disorders. Can we talk a little bit about that?
All of the symptoms in the lower area is all coming from the same essential dirty energy. So the healing that we're doing in the intestines now is covering all of these things.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. How would he feel? What would be the change after the session?
His digestion will change, and the way he processes food will be completely different.
Oh, okay, very good. So this also will heal the intolerance to processed sugar in the body, including honey?
Yes, it should heal that.
Okay, wonderful. What about the allergies to gluten, wheat, nuts, lentils, beans?
These are separate allergies that are coming up due to just intolerances and imbalances in the digestive area.
Okay, but what causes that?
They can just come up from because of the environment, the lifestyle, the diet. In today's world, there's just so many improper things that can be eaten that cause these imbalances to just naturally occur in the body.
Okay, so what is your advice? What would you like him to eat?
I think we just have to heal it.
Okay, well, can I ask you to heal that?
Yes, we can heal it.
Okay, and what part of the body is it? Still in the intestines?
Yeah, it's all in the intestines.
Okay, but you're healing it now just to make sure.
Yes, we'll heal those as well.
Okay, and then when he's gonna live here, and let's say he'll want to eat something that has gluten or nuts, would that be okay?
Well, if it's not good for his body, then he should avoid eating it a lot. But it should be more tolerable.
Okay, gotcha. So just be mindful of what you're eating.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful. Because the part of the lesson is forcing him to eat the right energy foods. So if he can't eat certain things, it's forcing him to eat other things that are good for him. So it is like the body's way of forcing him to eat high energy foods instead of junk food.
Oh, okay, good. What about the intense fatigue and weakness? What can you tell us about that?
That is coming from the imbalances in the intestines as well.
So those are all related.
All related.
Intestines. Okay. But now that you're healing him, this will improve also.
Yes, it should improve that also.
Okay. Thank you. Now, he also requested healing for his need to control and improve others, to accept others without criticism, and don't push to improve them and have them accept his paradigm of thinking.
Yes, he should do that because it's affecting his mind and his physical health. So he should not, control other people and let them live their contracts out.
Okay. So how can we rid of him today?
It's just a tendency in the mind that needs to be erased.
Okay. Can I ask you to erase it then?
Yes, we can erase it.
Okay. And how are you doing that? I'm always curious.
We just go into that part of the brain and delete that, the need for that energy to arise in the first place.
Okay. And what will be the change?
He won't feel that angst in his system to speak harshly to other people.
Very good. Thank you. And you're doing that right now. I'm requesting healing for that right now.
Yes, we're doing it now.
Thank you. Appreciate that. what would you say it's his mission besides fixing karma here? Balancing karma, if you may. What is his mission? What did he sign up for?
Serve society.
Serve society, okay. So how can he do that best?
He's already doing it.
Okay, so he's on his way. He's doing it.
Yes, he's doing that.
Okay.
There's no problem there.
No problem there. Okay. He finds himself having